play good football, but I think that the mire that they're in is going to weigh them down. I don't think we'll get much from Vere United tonight, to be fair.
All right, we wait to find out. But while we do that, let's take a look at some upcoming action on your Home of Champions. We have NBA action on Sportsmax, where the Portland Trailblazers will play Indiana Pacers Thursday, 8 p.m., 9 ECT. And on Thursday at 10:30 p.m., 11:30 ECT, the LA Lakers will be playing Golden State Warriors. That's a big one over there. La Liga action on Sportsmax 2, Valencia versus Real Betis, Saturday, 10 a.m., 11 ECT. And El Clasico action is on Sportsmax 2. Of course, Real Madrid hosting Barcelona, Sunday, 3 p.m., 4 ECT. All right, stay with us here on the Home of Champions as we continue our build-up to Red Stripe Football Mondays between Harbour VUFC and Vere United FC. We'll be right back.
Six-time champions Cruz Azul will take a crucial 2-1 lead into the second leg of their round of 16 Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League tie against Jamaica's Portmore United at the Azteca Stadium on Tuesday. The Mexicans staged a late show in Kingston to win the first leg with 2 added-time goals, and now the reigning Caribbean champions will have it all to do in one of the world's most feared stadia. Can Portmore pull off the improbable and land a place in the quarterfinals? Or will Cruz Azul complete the job? Watch it all play out as Flow Sports takes you live to the Mexican capital for this make-or-break encounter. This Tuesday starting at 11 p.m., 10 p.m. in Jamaica. Don't miss it.
Defender to electrify the crowd. Look at this discipline. I'm gone. And we are ready.
The role is to continue to drive for the development of the game here. Although players are selected from clubs abroad, they were developed in the league.
They're really quality players and they're good attitude, and you get your money's worth.
This match has turned up several gears.
Welcome back to the compound, home of Harbourview Football Club, as they welcome Vere United here tonight for Red Stripe Monday Night Football. It is currently 26 degrees Celsius here at Harbourview in Kingston, Jamaica. My name is Shawana Ebanks, welcoming you back to the pregame show if you are just joining us. Now I'm going to turn you over to Lance Whitaker and George Davis as they tell us more about these teams.
So Harbourview are at home tonight, and they are 4-time champions, this Harbourview team. No titles though since 2013, but they have a very important fixture tonight. They're 6 points at the moment off a playoff spot, and they badly need a win tonight to get close. They were 9th last season. They have reached the playoffs twice in the last 6 seasons, but they didn't get to the playoffs last year, and the hope for this club is that they will do things right in the remaining matches of the 3rd round here and get through from a regular season spot.
Last one read, number 8, number 7.
Johnny Talbot, the former Jamaica College Manning Cup standout and schoolboy championship winner, just 21 years old, but shows a lot of leadership in this famous Harbourview club. Very, very solid tackler, good reader of the game, and has been one of the reasons why sometimes it is hard to score against this Harbourview team. Jean-Luc Levy, also outstanding player that spent some time at college in the United States, was called up to the Jamaica under-22 squad a couple of months ago, as he is one of the most creative players in this Harbourview setup. Ludlow Bernard is the man in charge at Harbourview.
For host Harbourview.
Thanks, gentlemen. Now, Ludlow, your leading attacking player, Norman Campbell, he is away on trial in Italy. How much will he be missed here tonight?
Yeah, man, that is indeed a big loss. Norman is an impact player, and we know we're going to miss him this evening, but we have to move on. We have people in place, and the replacements have trained very well all week. And if Saturday evening's training session is anything to go by, then we should be very comfortable today.
Give us some specifics on the replacements.
Well, for today, we're gonna inject Lennox Russell and Mark Alves. All right, both of them will replace Norman Campbell and Bebita McDonald. So they have trained well all week, and I think they're up for the task here today.
Now, this squad has been rotated a lot this season. What does that say? What does that tell us? What can we take from that?
Unfortunately, I thought that put it this way, I think we now have a squad that probably can take us further in the competition. But even as at this moment, I find that the content of the squad is as such that we can select players based on different games, and within games, different circumstances. So I'd say we have a very rounded squad here, and I think it is one that is capable of taking us to the next round of the competition.
How are you bracing to face this relegation-threatened team?
Well, the mood has been very serious and very focused ever since today. You know, we're not taking anything for chance. Nothing light. We are aware that that they will indeed be a threat, but I am confident that the players will be very focused about their job and their various roles, and we want to be very tight this evening, and of course keep a clean sheet more importantly, and then of course go ahead and look some goals.
Thank you, Ludlow.
Thanks for your time.
Ludlow Bernard looking pretty studious here as he gets ready to tackle this Vere United team founded back in 2016. They're out of Clarendon, did perform in the Red Stripe Premier League back in 2016-17 under the name Jamalco. Only one brief season. They were relegated promptly after finishing last in the table with 21 defeats during that season. And right now, the way things are, they look to be heading south once again, as they are 11 points out of relegation safety. Ramon Plummer, very outstanding attacking player, and one of the players that Vere United will be hoping can lift them out of the poor position that they're in at the moment. He's already scored 3 goals so far this season, did spend some time at Reno as well, and had played for Jamalco when they were in the championship 2016-2017, but a player with pace and good kicking ability, and maybe the Harbourview defenders will have to keep a close eye on him tonight. Zane Reid, leading goal scorer for this Vere United team with 6 goals so far, spent some time at in the US collegiate system, and several of his goals have come from the penalty spot, but definitely one of the most talented players in the team for Vere United, and he plays with a lot of confidence as well. Howard Cephas is the man in charge of Vere United.
Howard, you recently took over at Vere. What have you found to be the problem of the poor results being registered by the team?
It's poor results, but obviously, if we get a chance, you don't score the goals. No matter how good you play, it's still poor results. It's a brilliant team, all the position in the world, but if you don't score the goals, it means nothing.
Let us in on the confidence level of the team, considering they have not been getting the results in their favors.
Well, obviously, they've been patiently. There's a new transformation, a new coach coming in, players, no ideas. So the type of training they're getting now is far different from they were getting before, more advanced training.
Tell us more about that. You mentioned new ideas. Tell us more about the ideas and the more advanced training. Well,
most advanced training is guys, obviously I've been overseas for a couple of years, and 29 years in London, so I've learned the game differently. Most of us in Jamaica play physical football. It's more about technical, mentality, psychology. So that play a lot of part in the game as well. If you play at a high level, you understand what I'm talking about. So basically, Jamaica is not the level that yet, but hopefully they can reach it one day.
All right, sounds good. Now, having been at Harborview before and knowing how they operate, how has that equipped you to take them on tonight?
Well, listen, it's not life and death, you know. And just remember that it's a sport. So one got to win, one got to lose. So I'm saying to you, that's best luck to the two teams.
Thank you.
Cheers.
All right, that was Howard Cephas, head coach at Vere United. Let's take a look at what you can expect. We have Red Stripe Football Mondays on Sportsmax 2. On Monday, we will be at Stadium East as Cavalier Football Club welcome Arnett Gardens. And we have La Liga action on Sportsmax 2 Saturday at 10 a.m. 11 ECT, Valencia playing Real Betis. And the big one, we have the El Clasico on Sportsmax 2 Sunday at 3 p.m. for ECT, Real Madrid taking on Barcelona. And the UEFA Champions League is on Sportsmax 2. Chelsea will play Bayern Munich Tuesday at 3 p.m. for ECT. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. We have more for you when we return from the compound. This is Red Stripe Football Mondays here on the Home of Champions.
This is one of the events. Cruz Azul will take a crucial 2-1 lead into the second leg of their round of 16 Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League tie against Jamaica's Portmore United at the Azteca Stadium on Tuesday. The Mexicans staged a late show in Kingston to win the first leg with 2 at-a-time goals, and now the reigning Caribbean champions will have it all to do in one of the world's most feared stadia. Can Portmore pull off the improbable and land a place in the quarterfinals? Or will Cruz Azul complete the job? Watch it all play out as Flow Sports takes you live to the Mexican capital for this make or break encounter. This Tuesday starting at 11 p.m., 10 p.m. in Jamaica. Don't miss it.
Defender to electrify the crowd. Look at this play. I'm gone. And we are ready.
The role is to continue to drive for the development of the game here. Although players are selected from clubs abroad, they were developed in the league.
They're really quality players and they have really good attitude and you get your money's worth.
This match has turned up several gears.
Them a singing anthem. Red Stripe, watch out. Man, shall I better forward, boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion, boy. Score every goal when I run from, boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion, boy. Now back down we run the marathon, boy. The Red Stripe Premier League champion, boy. Yeah, yo.
Welcome to the compound, home of Harborview Football Club, as they welcome Vere United FC for Red Stripe Football Monday action. Harborview Football Club are hoping for a spot in the playoffs, but they're 6 points away, while Vere United are hoping to climb their way out of the relegation zone. My name is Shawana Ebanks, if you are just joining us. Now, it is not yet a packed house here at the compound, but the fans are in the building, and you know they like to analyze their football. So here's a little thing we called Fanalist.
Good night. My name is Kemar Ferguson, supporter of Harborview. Well, we're very optimistic because this is the top 6 drive. From Coach Ludlow Bernard take over, we have a aim, and the aim is from 6th position to win the Premier League title. Play for look out for tonight, Joshua Anglins, otherwise known as Rooney. We have a bunch of young players.
Good night, I'm Akim Nutford. I'm supporting Vere United from I was 6 years old, and the player that we look out for is Zane Reid, top player. 3-1 result, victory tonight, 3 points.
Najavix there, and you know, Vere take big baller, come on second half, come match up the boat. They are speak for my fans them, as a fans. They are speak for my fans them. as a fans, you don't know tonight we are going to win. Chile is a must win because we need this. We come for Joe. We are going to take it to the red stripe, you don't know.
Don't forget, we have Lennox. You know, we have the Meister Romario Campbell, but it's going to be a good game tonight. Look out, the result, it's going to be 3-0. It's going to be 3-0.
So the fans are expecting a win, obviously, for both their teams. However, it's interesting that they're all hoping to see 3 goals scored by each of their teams here tonight. We are not so confident about that. I know 2 men who are not exactly as confident as the fans in those results. Lance Whitaker and George Davis, they will take you through tonight's game.
Just under 10 minutes to the kickoff, and the Harbourview fans here expectant. As you've heard, they badly need 3 points tonight to get themselves closer to a playoff spot, and a Vere team that hasn't been impressive at all throughout the entire season. They would think that they will have the tools to get by them tonight and climb to a closer spot to the playoffs. Fans just waiting patiently for the start of this one. The 2 teams have met twice already this season. There was a 1-1 draw between them back in September, and then in December in round 2, Harbourview won by 2 goals to 0. 3 meetings between them back in 2016, 2017 when Vere were called Jamalco. Twice Harbourview beat them, and there was 1 drawn result as well. So Vere, under whatever name, are looking for their first win against the Harbourview team after 5 tries. Harbourview at the moment in 9th position. If they win tonight, they will remain 9th, but they'll be moving up to 35 points and within 3 points of the number 16 Arnett Garns, who are on 38 at the moment. Vere United, as you can see, they are 11 points away from the relegation problems, and 3 points would just marginally help their cause.
The problem with the Vere United, Lance, is resources. And what do I mean by resources? There aren't enough of the quality players to share around the Premier League for every team to have at least 1 potent goal scorer or 1 dynamic attacker who can create goals and score goals themselves. So because their budget is way smaller than the majority of teams in the Premier League, that is the root of their struggles, their inability to recruit the kind of players that can keep them in this Premier League. And that's why they're going to be relegated. And you have to feel for them, especially where representation is concerned. You'd love for that part of Jamaica, for Clarendon, to have a Premier League representative year after year. It would appear as if another team would have to rise to represent that parish because Vere appear on their way out.
Yeah, absolutely. 2016, 2017, they appeared in the top flight under the name Jamalco and got relegated promptly after this 1 season. They had only 9 wins that year. Not that bad, by the way. Harbourview also 9 wins that year, but they were 9th. The problem that the Jamalco team had is that they suffered 21 defeats, and Harbourview suffered far fewer defeats. So although both teams had 9 victories, Jamalco's results outside of those victories were so poor, they ended bottom of the table and were relegated. And they struggled, as you just mentioned, George, to attract high-quality players to their roster.
And the fact is, when they started the campaign that they were in the Premier League last, they had quality players. Over the first 8 rounds, they were the league leaders. But then those players were bought up in the January transfer window, and Jamalco then fell like a stone. In the new guys of Vere, the story is pretty much the same. The quality of the playing roster, not strong enough. And as I said, it's a pity that Clarendon's team will fall out of the top flight, it appears, at the end of this season.
Yeah, and the coaching staff of the Vere United team tonight, Howard Cephas and Gregory Bartley, 2 men who were at Harbourview before, so they know a lot about what the opposition culture is, so I'm not sure how they can use that to their benefit. Anyhow, they have been in charge of Vere for 6 matches now, 3 drawn results and 3 losses, so they haven't been able to get any victories.
And if you count the number of goals they've scored over that 6-game stretch, you can also pinpoint another problem that Vere have had: not enough on the cutting edge. And look, whichever league you play in, whichever part of the world, if you're not scoring goals, you're not going to get results.
Yeah, they've failed failed to score any goals in 4 of the 6 matches they've played recently, so real problems for them there. There's Laston Reed getting ready to take the Vere United team out. Of course, he was a part of the Jamalco setup and spent a year at Cavalier as well.
Yeah, one of the outstanding players for Jamalco in that campaign. Really looked a Premier League player, but even he has struggled in this team, this Vere United team this season. And we know from the evidence of his previous campaigns in the Premier League that Laston Reed is a good player. There were many times when I thought he was the best holding midfielder in the Premier League, not playing for one of the big clubs. But so has Vere's fortunes plummeted, so as his performances also quailed.
The match officials assigned for the fixture tonight, getting ready to lead the teams out. Harbourview at home, 4-time champions, 2000, 2007, 2010 and 2013, up against the Vere United team, who are spending only their 2nd season in the top flight. 9th in the table at the moment, Harbourview, with 8 wins, 8 drawn results and 9 defeats. Vere United 11th in the table, 18 points, just 2 wins from 25 matches, 7 draws and 7 losses. And they have really struggled here, this Vere United team. Somehow their coaching staff believes that they have it in them to give Harbourview trouble tonight. We'll see over the course of the 90 minutes if that's true.
Yeah, the lack of pressure can mean 2 things. It can spark ambition to say, you know what, we have nothing on the line. Let's just play some football, and good football can come. But both teams have a difference in motivation. Harbourview motivated by a playoff place, they're going to go hard. Vere, I'm not quite sure what the motivation is, because I think these boys know that they are a relegated team, and I question how strong that motivation will be.
Facing the flag down to
the Jamaica national anthem.
Thank you.
So Vere having a mountain to climb tonight. As we said, they're 11 points deep in the relegation zone, and even a win tonight would put them 8, and with just 6 or 7 matches in the regular season, you hardly think that's enough for them to repair the damage.
Yeah, for sure, Lance. I can't add to that. What I can say, though, you spoke about something earlier about of playing philosophy. I don't think Harbourview is a playing philosophy anymore, given the changes to the squad and the fact that the business model requires them to bring in young players and to sell them on quickly. In fact, I think the only team in this Red Stripe Premier League that still has a philosophy is Arnold Gardens, and even that has changed somewhat with the departure of Jerome Waite. You know, he played 3-4-3 all the time, and it was ultra attacking, still attacking under Alex Thomas, but they're the only club that have an identity. You could put them in a chain strip, and based on the way they play, you'd know it was Arnold Gardens. I don't think Harbourview is that anymore.
Darren Tavey is the man with a whistle tonight. He's a physical education teacher by profession, and he has assisting him on the lines tonight Rolonzo Bennett and Kumar Gale. Johnny Talbot, the Harbourview captain, squaring off with Laston Reed, the Vere captain, as they get ready for a battle tonight that they have seen twice already this season. 1 drawn result and a victory for Harbourview.
And I spoke about motivation, and I'm going to talk about it again. Maybe the boys in blue, the Vere boys, their motivation can be, you know what, these guys are pushing for a playoff spot. Let's spoil that for them. Let's give them a setback. Let's be motivated by that. Because look, you can't teach players how to control the ball at this stage of the season. You can't teach them about tactics. What you can do, though, is give them motivation and spark ambition.
Yeah, the Harbourview starting roster tonight has 3 changes from the 1-1 draw they had with Waterhouse last week. Romario Elliot Thompson, Mark Alves, and Lennox Russell. Second time in from Arnett Gardens, in place of Romario Campbell, Bebeto McDonald, and Decoy Williams.
Yep. Russell, whippersnapper, fast on the front end. Doesn't score many goals, though. Didn't score many goals in his Arnett Gardens days. Tevin Scott leading the line. Mark Alves, dangerous, cutting in from the left flank. Shepherd, Anglin, and Levy. Levy is the pass master, the best passer in this Harbourview team. And Talbot, very solid at the back, and he'll have to marshal a back line that has some unfamiliar faces to Harbourview regulars.
Yeah, Ludlow Bernard in charge of a starting roster tonight for Harbourview that has 3 teenagers, Shepherd, Anglin, and the goalkeeper Tafari Chambers. Let's see what the Vere lineup will be tonight. Just one change from the team that drew 1-1 with Dunbeholden last week. Christopher Randall, the former Lennon standout, in for Michael Moreland. And you see Ramon Plummer there. We spoke about him in the number 7 shirt. A lot expected from him and Jane Reen in the 11 shirt, their leading scorers.
Yeah, Plummer, without doubt, their best player, their best attacker, their most creative player, the player that can beat a man, and he has the unfortunate task of playing up front as a lone striker. I've never seen him play well in that position. All the games you've seen Ramon Plummer play well in, he's been used as an attacking midfielder. He won't have that luxury today as they get on the way.
Yeah, so the kickoff has Vere United in blue and sharing the ball around inside their own half to start off. Pretty cool night here at the compound. We're just a couple of 100 meters away from the coastline, and the sea breeze in evidence here. Vere putting pressure on. Chambers in goal for Harbourview. Not bothered by that long ball coming down the middle channel. Levy, player that doesn't have a lot of pace, but certainly has good touches and good vision and usually good passing ability.
Reminds me of a player that was at Harbourview many years ago called Aquil Fonseca. Lance, he was wonderful, a magician, but he had no pace at all. Levy reminds me of him.
Staple on the right here for Harbourview. Through the legs there of Brissett.
Can't see how that is a foul, because I don't know what Brissett should have done if he should have teleported out of the way. Look at this again. So Staple goes for the nutmeg and he stands firm. Maybe the hand to the chest is what caused the referee to flag.
Free kick to Harbourview early. That's Anglin with the free kick, and several yellow shirts in the box looking for scoring opportunities. The header wide of the target from Tevin Scott.
Ought to have done better, Scott. An unchallenged header, you rarely see that. The defenders lost him. Comfortable for him, comfortable height, but didn't snap the neck into the header, and in any event he got his direction wrong.
Yeah, got to the ball on challenge. They're giving up the ball fairly easily here in the first half. Harbourview's season has been so unsteady that, George, only once so far this season have they posted back-to-back wins, and that was the very start of the season when they beat Mount Pleasant and Cavalier. They haven't reported back-to-back wins since then.
Yep. Gross inconsistency is what you'd write on the report card of Harbourview for their play so far this season. But that can be understood given the number of players that have come and gone, and the number of coaches who've come and gone as well. The players must be confused taking directions from so many men.
Among those who have left them, a coach on the opposite side tonight, Howard Cephas, was replaced as a Harbourview coach back in October of last year. Only took over at Vere in early January. No height on the corner kick. Brissett with a throw forward. Plummer. And a huge toss-up for the ball there with Staple on, both tumbling over. Yeah, signs early here that the Vere team isn't really taking care of the ball very well. A few untidy touches of the ball. And the turnovers at the moment benefiting Harbourview. Here's an opportunity for them now to settle Vere. Reed has gone away. Good pass. Excellent recovery.
Wow. Big challenge by Staple. Doing his job. Would have been even better if he had managed to prevent the corner, but can't kill him for that. Brilliant defending.
Reed. Good corner. Slips out of the goalkeeper's hand. The whistle helps the goalkeeper here from referee Davey.
Yeah, not certain, not assuring, reassuring from Tafari Chambers, but he was fouled as a Harbourview man goes down with a head injury. And the referee summons assistance from the bench. But Chambers' handling wasn't certain, which is what caused the problem in the first place. Don't believe the ball was of a nature where he couldn't have held it. The corner comes in one time, goes to grab, impeded by one of his own players who got punched in the head, Genie Talbot. And yeah. They got an elbow to the head rather.
That was a pretty close call there for Harbourview though.
But here's this, the goalkeepers will know that from that situation you go to punch the ball and punch it from the highest possible position. You try to catch that, it's likely that someone will get in your way, either a teammate or an opposing player. And Chambers getting away with it.
Yeah.
Leaving his captain with a sore head.
Yeah, struck in the back of the head as he went for the ball with his teenage goalkeeper. So he's off for the moment, Talbot. So defensively they'll have to make some adjustments, Harbourview, until the captain gets back onto the field. Oh, Jean-Luc Alibe showing his passing skills once again there. Whether it's his short passes or his long passes, tends to be quite clinical with his use of the ball, Levy. Anxious to see how Harbourview will do tonight without Norman Campbell, a player with extreme pace and dribbling skills in Italy for trials with Udinese. We wish him the best of luck there. Staple does well with the first touch. Brissett puts a challenge on and referee says a foul by Brissett. Free kick to Harbourview on the right flank.
I'm wondering if it was for raised studs. Staple's first touch was good-ish, and yeah, caught his ankle.
Eventually, Ricardo Messam dropping back there. There's Howard Cephas, former outstanding player. Spent a couple of decades in London learning his craft as a coach. Shot over the top from Alves was that, but there was a Vere player that went down.
Yeah, the Vere goalkeeper livid, with the assistant referee saying that his teammate was struck illegally. The man down is the man wearing number 5, Alton Lewis. And let's see this replay. Anglin's free kick comes in, dropping it into the mix. And the charge is that Romario Thompson, the big centre half, came up and what did he do wrong here? Oh, it's a punch. That's a punch, Lance. That's why the keeper is livid. That's a red card. He punched him square in the face. Must have been watching Tyson Fury on Sunday morning.
Wow.
Oh my, why would you do that though?
Yeah, Cephas complained bitterly earlier on in chat I had with him about the brutality of the league, George, about how aggressive and violent the players are physically.
Yep.
And he doesn't think the referees help enough.
Nope. Let's see that replay again if we can. So the free kick drops here. Watch the ball and watch Thompson's arm. Bam! Yeah, that's nasty. That's a red card. Every day of the week.
One of the most fluctuating rosters we've seen in Premier League football, even within a particular season, George, has been Harbour View. Their starting roster tonight looks about 50% different from the last time we did a Harbour View game.
Yeah, the best single word to use to describe the Harbour View starting lineup over time is flux. It's always changing. It's constant. And it's true what you say. But, you know, going back to that incident involving Simpson and Alton Lewis, I'll tell you after this.
Chase here put on by Scott. Levy. First touch poor by Levy. Vere in transition.
Yeah, that is why a player like, say, Teddy Johnson, Lance, is so aggressive in his dealings with the referees, especially because he's demanding protection because of how rough the midfielders and defenders in this league are.
Harbour View pushing forward there. Jamon Shepherd, one of the 3 teenagers on the Harbour View starting roster.
In this league, you have to have an edge to your game. If you're too nice, you're gonna get damaged. Defenders and defensive midfielders will take your ankles for free. The likes of Chevron Messi Marsh, Alex Marshall when he was here, Nicholas Hamilton when he was here. 3 Cavalier players, 2 of them no longer with Cavalier playing in the Canadian League now. Marshall and Hamilton were on the receiving end of several hard tackles game in, game out.
That's Brown for Vere. His cross is overhit. Xavier Brown, fairly experienced Premier League player, even though he's just 23 years old. Had spent some time at Reno as well.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, well, Luca Levy's on the field for, John-Luca Levy's on the field for Harbour View. I'm wondering why Romario Campbell wasn't given a start. Maybe because of the type of player that Levy is and Campbell is. They don't want 2 players like that on the field at the same time.
Alves wide with the effort from about 10 yards.
Yeah, he was under a challenge though. May have been Alton Lewis who was diving in, and maybe Alves saw him coming in his line of sight and wasn't too confident with the finish. But this was a good chance, lovely ball, simple ball really, and the pullback was excellent. Alves really should have found the target with that.
Yeah, he may have had a bit of a bobble there as he was about
shin.
to kick. Yeah, so he didn't connect properly.
So the surface again.
Yeah.
Almost like a 13th man, a 12th man at times.
Yeah, the ball crossed into him by Lennox Russell, former Charles Smith schoolboy player. Spent many years at Arnett Gardens. Second match for Lennox Russell for Harbour View after the January transfer.
Started at your old club, Lance, Barbican.
Yes.
Lennox Russell, many years, well, about 2014, 2015, before going over to Arnett Gardens.
Yeah, had a few okay seasons at Arnett Gardens, but didn't have a lot of playing time there. Yeah, Plummer very aggressively struck on that play. Free kick to Vere.
Our producer says Romario Campbell told him that he had a little niggle, which is why he isn't here, because there's the need for someone to control this midfield for Harbour View. Levy hasn't done that yet, although that's his job.
Reed, leading scorer for the Vere team, cracks this one from distance and it goes miles high.
Wow. The Six Nations Rugby tournament is going on right now. And that wouldn't look out of place. But in this kind of game, it does look out of place.
Yeah, poor effort there from Shane Reed, who has seemingly lost his scoring boots, hasn't scored since mid-December.
Well, while you were looking up that stat lines, you should have seen what happened. It wasn't a comedy of errors, it was an error in comedy involving the Harbourview goalkeeper and his left back, almost gifting a chance to Jamaica, from which they have a corner. Vere United, beg your pardon.
Well, let's see what happened here for this corner kick for Vere. Left-footed to the near post. Reed puts the chase on. Won't get to it in time, will he? No, doesn't. Pressured by the 17-year-old St. George's schoolboy.
Look at this. This is while you were looking up your stat. Talbot, the centre half, the captain, and his goalkeeper Chambers.
Wow. That looked very untidy at the back there for Harbourview. Ludlow Bernard would not have been pleased.
Nope.
Yeah, it does look a figure of disappointment there at that effort. Reed. Vere building from the right.
Yeah, Plummer remonstrating with that effort just now.
Yeah, Shepherd just losing his footing as he went for the ball.
And I tell you what, Harbourview started with assertively in this game, but in the past few minutes, Vere have come into this contest. Plummer again going down, and Romario Shepherd, who's lucky to be on the pitch. And we'll say that for the entirety of the game, lucky to stay on the pitch for punching Alton Lewis in the face. The referee, neither the referee nor his assistant saw it.
Well, he just climbed there on the back of Ramon Plummer. And fell heavily on him as well. Plummer looks to be the target of close attention by these Harbourview men tonight.
Yeah, that tactic has been used repeatedly against him, and it always works. Foul him a lot.
Brissett free kick right to the penalty spot. And the header out. Handball.
Yeah, correct.
Free kick taken very quickly. Scott has it. Long ball. Delightful ball forward. And goalkeeper Samson is right there on the edge of his box to avert any danger.
Yeah, nice defending from Anjay Gale on that occasion. Big shield created by his big frame.
Yeah, Russell with a one-time pass there. It's good ball handling skills, Russell. There's Levy for Harbourview. Harbourview a bit untidy there as they were approaching the attacking third. Talbot goes right through the center channel. Well handled there by Gale, just heading back to his goalkeeper. Big strong Thompson getting the header out. Thompson, a 25-year-old former St. Elizabeth technical standout. Big imposing presence in the Harbourview defense line. There he is. Was outstanding at the schoolboy level for St. Elizabeth Technical. Not much yet in this game. Harbourview, huge favourites to collect 3 points here, but at the moment, not really imposing themselves on this game.
Yeah, there's no control in midfield. There's no leadership in midfield. That's what John Luca Levy is there to provide. Hasn't happened for him yet.
Alves gives the ball away. And Vere patient, but they've given the ball away.
Had the best chance of the game, Alves, but they undone by the poor surface here.
Mullings' cross inside has some danger. Staple. Russell showing good skill. Oh, leave it with the back heel. Delightful transition play here. Reed. Step overs, effective. His cross inside, met by Talbot, whose defensive work is solid. Russell. Big, strong, aggressive challenger coming from Brissett.
Has gotten through a lot of work so far, Brissett. Russell has been raiding down this side of the field. Brissett has been the busier of the two fullbacks for Vere United.
Mullings cutting in for Harbour View. Reed putting pressure on. That's Laston Reed. Now they're giving up a throw. Yeah, Cephas trying to get some urgency in his team.
They don't look bad on the break. You spoke about the transition just now that they had, Vere United. But as ever, at this level, the final pass has left something to be desired. But they've matched up better against this Harbour View team than I thought they would, looking at the teams on paper.
Yeah, doing that badly. Cephas told me before match time, George, that he thinks the Vere team isn't as bad as the statistics are suggesting, and that they could trouble Harbour View tonight. Big, strong cross inside. Harbour View more time on the ball, 52% possession. Reed coming under a little bit of pressure there as Russell comes charging back to help out his defenders.
Did the wrong thing. They was waiting for the ball to come to him, the number 11 for Vere United, Zane Reed. He should have gone and invited the tackle in the penalty box. Those are the moments that the player has to make a quick calculation of where the ball is and what to do. Could have won a penalty.
Reed with a corner kick for Vere, their fourth corner. Shot on goal, punched over the top by Chambers. So Chambers, the busier of the two goalkeepers so far, George, which is a bit of a turn up for the books.
For real, Barrington Blake's technique on that was quite good. Didn't really trust the bounce of the ball, but let it come to him once and just he connected with it in a way that they normally don't coach you to strike a ball, but he got it good. Good save.
Reed under pressure from Russell, fouled by Russell, free kick.
Clever by Reed. And that's what I mean by knowing what to do in the situation. Knew that Russell was coming in hard, just took a touch to take the ball away from the former Arnott Gardens man. And wins a foul, and Russell goes into the book.
Yeah, Russell having a lot of defensive work to do here. His primary function on this Harbour View team is offensive.
Won't get you the same goals that Norman Campbell would, and not as menacing as Norman Campbell is.
Yeah.
Perhaps a shade slower than Norman Campbell is, but he isn't slow. He's very rapid, quite quick. Lennox Russell, the nephew, they say, of the late dancer Gerald Bogle Levy. And he can do a job for this Harbour View team, I'm sure.
Reed with a free kick for Vere United. Several blue shirts in the box waiting for scoring opportunities. Midway the first half to the near post. Disappointing. Russell gets in there and gives up another corner.
Criminal from Reed. Russell doing his defensive work. There's a man down in the box of Vere.
Yeah, I know Reed may be the best dead ball kicker of the ball, so the temptation is to have him used in these spot kicks, these goal corners and so on, but he's also their leading scorer. Must be a temptation to have him in the box looking for goals.
Yeah, let's look at what happened to Ramon Plummer. Unchallenged. And he goes down with a leg complaint. Or was he hitting the upper body?
Yeah, someone rushed past him just now, so I think there may have been some contact.
Yeah, you made the point about Reed and his potency, well, relatively speaking, and him being on corner kick duty. This reminds me of what used to happen with Roy Hodgson as England manager when he had Harry Kane taking the corners.
Yeah, you would think you want your leading scorer in the box looking for goals.
Louis van Gaal had Wayne Rooney on corner duties for Manchester United as well. Very strange.
Reed has not done too well with a few of the corners. Oh, does a lot better here. Chambers punches this one out. And the effort aiming for the near post, Ricardo Messam.
Well, I tell you what, I made light of Vere's potency in the build-up, but they've been better attacking-wise than Harbourview so far in this game.
Yeah. Oh, that to the near post as well. Brown gets the ball back inside. Here comes Reed. Leaves it for Brissett, who gets to the ball but can't keep it in. Harbourview having a lot more defensive work to do here than they probably had bargained for.
Yeah, poor pass from the big man Thompson. Putting his colleague Staple under too much pressure with that pass. Too powerful to trap with the chest and gives away a throw.
Yeah, there's Chambers. Clarendon College, the Costa Cup winner. In goal for Harbourview. Here's Brissett with a throw for Vere. Brissett's lobbed effort. Chambers with the easy take. He's had far more touches of the ball, Chambers, than the Vere United goalkeeper Sampson has. Russell. Angling back to Thompson. And the goalkeeper with a big clearance downfield. Staple putting a huge chase onto this one. Brissett sees the danger. Oh, it does really well. Lots of class there from Brissett.
Levy has been a spectator in this game for Harbourview so far.
Yeah. Usually does well as a super sub. An opportunity for him as a starter tonight to show his worth. Shepherd's first touch not as good as it needed to be, but the ball squirts free here for Staple. This cross inside has danger. And the sliding effort there from Shepherd, I think it was.
Yes.
The St. George's College 17-year-old.
Good cross from Staple. He's been Harbourview's best attacker so far. And under pressure he was.
Yeah.
From Gale.
Yeah, Gale put enough pressure on him there to not allow him a clean shot on goal.
Whoa. Nice one, director.
Oh, she smiled.
She didn't have to.
I thought she heard you.
Wow. I owe you a drink for that one, Eddie Edwards.
Throw to Vere. Approaching the half-hour mark. Russell. Some robust challenges in midfield. Now Levy squirts free. Oh, Shepherd doesn't do too well on that play. Now Levy again. Alves. Challenged really strongly there, and the Vere man looks to have hurt himself coming in for the challenge. Was that Lewis?
Yes, Alton Lewis again, from being punched in the face to being struck in the back of the head. He really has been in the wars, Alton Lewis.
And see, he went for that aggressively. He didn't want the Harbourview man Alves turning with that ball with too much comfort. Plummer. Reed. Obviously fancies the step overs, Reed, but the Harbourview defenders are up to this point nullifying his efforts.
Yeah, good contest though between him and Staple down this left-hand side of Vere United. Harbourview's right, of course.
Mullings on the left. Reed partially stopping it. Alves under pressure. Here comes Shepherd under pressure. Strong effort, brilliant goal! Just Sean Anglin. The 18-year-old, they call him Rooney. And Harbourview are one up. One of three teenagers on the starting roster tonight. Coming up big for coach Luddy Bernard.
A thumping finish from Jashawn Anglin, reminiscent of the man who he's nicknamed after, Wayne Rooney. Ball breaking at the edge of the 18-yard box. Good play from Alves and company. The ball slipped in by Mullings. Ran away from Shepherd, and look at that, he just cut across it at the last minute. A very, very good strike on a tricky surface. With the laces he went. And just enough bend. And as that gathered speed, it gathered distance away from the goalkeeper's dive. Wouldn't have caught it anyway. That was a rising effort. And the goalkeeper, once he dives, he's only going to go down.
Fine strike there by young Anglin. Kingston, technical Manning Cup player. Second goal in the top flight. His first coming all the way back in September. And would you believe it? Against the same Vere team in the 1-1 draw, September 29. Great pass to Alves. Staple offers himself on the right. Shepherd gets there but loses it. Plummer. Vere in transition. Harbourview's defenders up to this point in the game equal to the task.
Hakeem Mullings, the man who set that play in motion for Harbourview, back in a defensive position and helping out just now. Well, the game needed a goal.
Yeah.
Got a very good one.
Probably not a high-scoring team, are they? They've got one already. Reed. Threatening ball played inside by Barton Blake. Lewis to Brissett. Re-challenged by Staple. Cephas, the Vere coach, not impressed with that passage of play.
Nah. His team on the back foot, they haven't been outplayed in this game. The defending wasn't up to the right standard. And then what can you do about Anglin's strike? Nothing but admire.
Yeah. Harbourview's offense below 1 goal per match. Only 24 goals in the 25 matches coming into this game.
And Vere?
Well, they're awful, aren't they? They've scored just 18 goals all season.
Exhibit A in the debate over why they've struggled this season.
They're on a 13-game winless streak. They've won just 2-25 up to this point. There's Kong Chang of Western sports fame.
Why isn't he drinking a red stripe like the other two people beside him? And then in the corner beside Carl Chang is Clive Vizzy Campbell, eh?
Yeah. Has his big One Love celebrity football coming up on Ash Wednesday.
Will you be fit enough to play? Is the hamstring healed?
I have came out as part duties.
On Ash Wednesday? Oh yes you do, oh yes you do.
Staple protects the ball well. Russell under pressure here from Brissett. The goal scorer Anglin. Oh, good skill from Brown. Plummer. Reed. Has had very little success all night against Staple, Reed has.
Well, he has gotten a couple crosses in, to be fair to him, but that's when Russell has been defending him. So you are correct that he's had some joy down this left-hand side, but not when in a one-on-one duel with Staple.
Staple, yeah. See if Harbourview can score more than one goal tonight. They've not scored more than one goal in a match in 8 games since their 2-0 win over Vere back on December 11. So on average, they have their quota now. Oh, to the near post, and Chambers bobbles that one. That looked threatening on the near post from Javier Brown.
Very quick thinking and very good execution from Javier Brown. And there's a little wind here. I don't know if that caused it to contribute to the surprise that met Tafari Chambers.
Goes for goal again, so Brown having a lot of confidence in his kicking ability. And just driving that one at goal just then, but it was high there.
Yep.
Staple. Miss kicks. Brissett intercepts. Has played solidly at left full back for Vere so far tonight, Brissett.
And as you say that he makes a rookie mistake, should have gone back to his centre half who was giving him the passing option.
Scott. Still Scott. Russell. Oh, Russell does well here. Gets by Brissett well. The header out.
Alton Lewis again with a head injury. Wow. Down in the box for Vere.
Plummer, good skill on the ball.
He's back up.
Brown goes over to the right side. Blake, his left-footed pass intercepted, but Vere still with possession. Not played badly so far tonight, Vere, even though they're trailing 1-0.
No, they haven't. They've played better than my preview suggests.
Yeah. Oh, Plummer goes for glory. Brown was right on the penalty spot, probably expecting a cross. But Plummer's eyes lit up there from the angle. As he tried for his 4th goal of the season. Here he is.
Well, Alton Lewis had given him an overlapping option. I was incandescent with rage. Look at him throwing a strop at Plummer's decision. And yeah, that was poor.
Yeah.
In that position.
So far, we've seen a game unfolding that the coaches of Vere have complained bitterly about. Playing fairly decent games, but not getting the results. They insist that their wretched record, which includes absolutely no road victories, is not a true reflection of the quality of this team.
Well, in football, the table never, never, never lies.
Reed. Brown. Threatening ball inside here. Tafford has a real difficult time. Looked pretty awkward trying to get rid of that one.
Yeah.
In the end, the ball's fell safely for the goalkeeper Chambers, who was at the top of his box.
The ball behaved like an off spinner, Lance, landing on a crack on the wicket, fooling both Plummer and Talbot. Misread the bounce badly.
Less than 7 minutes to the half-time break. Harbour not that strong with their home record, winning just 6 of their 14 home matches to date. Conversely, Vere wretched on the road, 0 wins, 10 losses from their 10 road trips so far. But when you score 2 wins from 25 matches in a season, George, it's not surprising that you don't have a road win.
Yep, which is why I'm saying the table never lies. Doesn't lie because it can't speak.
Oh, Brown does well here. The cross, too big. Yeah, too much weight on the cross. And Russell wins himself a throw for Harbourview, close to the corner flag.
Yeah, man down for Vere over on the far side. May have been maybe Javier Brown. Looks to be him. Referee goes across to attend to him. A touch of cramp. But he hasn't played well. He has caught the eye. Has looked a decent player so far in this game. Back up and running, the young man.
Yeah, had been on the Sporting Central book some years ago, but also spent some time at Reno, who were relegated last season themselves, and Montego Bay United.
I tell you what, he reminds me, every time I see him play, Lance, I remember the former Stets left back, Neville Morgan.
Yeah.
Who also played for Reno. Very similar.
Oh, great ball here towards Shepherd, who does well, gets into the box, the 17-year-old. Protecting the ball well here. Eventually manhandled, or is he? He gets the cross in, but just a little bit too high. Here comes Anglin again! Appeal for a handball.
Corner. And guess who? Alton Lewis again. Alton Lewis must feel like Deontay Wilder. He's had so many blows to the face and head since this game. That was a block, a pile driver from Jashawn Anglin that Alton Lewis's face got in the path of. Brilliant work from young Shepherd to protect the ball and then to dig out the cross just too high for Mark Alves, and then look at Anglin lining it up, and although his arms were up, Alton Lewis, to protect himself, it went through his arms, crashing into his face.
Oh, yeah, that was painful. That ball was hit with tremendous power, and it was heading goalward as well. Oh, there's Anglin, man of the moment for Harbourview. Spare a thought too for the 24 for the Harbourview team. Jamon Shepherd, who just bravely took on 2 big older defenders and survived those challenges. Only 17 years old, a St. George's College Manning Cup player. Also played for Wolmer's previously before going to St. George's. And is actually from the Arnett Gardens community. Levy with a corner for Harbourview. Look at those stats. First corner for Harbourview against 10 for Vere.
Yep. That's why Howard Cephas will feel particularly dissatisfied going into the halftime break if the score remains the same. They've had offensive play, but haven't had enough quality on the attacking end.
To the near post. Mullins puts the pressure back on. Wow. Harbourview attackers almost outnumbering the Vere defenders right in the center of the goal area there. You don't want that.
Nope. Bad for business.
Just over 2 minutes to the halftime break. And Harbourview are leading 1-0 on a Jashawn Anglin strike.
Wow. Oh my goodness. I heard that from here.
Yeah. Staple going for it. The high boot.
That was nasty.
Yeah, and
he'll get a yellow card. I don't think he meant harm, but he did cause harm. And that is why the referee is taking his name.
Yeah, Ricardo Messam, who was on the Harbourview books at one point here as well. so they would have been teammates before. Yeah, the follow through straight into the chest of Messan. Brissett with a free kick for Vere.
Nigel de Jong and Xavi Alonso, Spain, Holland, 2010 World Cup final in South Africa.
Yellow card confirmed for Staple. Oh, Big Thomason climbs high for it. Well, Russell gets the speedy. Shepherd going for it. Fortuitously gets the ball back, but his second attempt to cross doesn't find the target. Now a third attempt to cross and doesn't find the target again.
Just a little bit of quality eluding the youngster. Did everything right. His run was intelligent. His intentions were good, but the execution just off 3 times in quick succession. Looks a player though, young Shepherd.
Yeah, still has another season of Manning Cup that he can play for St. George's College. Foul on Reed by Russell.
Russell needs to be careful. Remember that he's in the book.
Yeah, there's Russell. Hasn't had too much on the front end for Harbourview so far tonight. Scored 3 goals for Arnett Garns last year, 5 goals in the 2017-18 season. Two minutes added on for stoppages. Brissett, Vere. Talbot with a header out. Still Brissett. Good cross inside. And the header out by Thompson.
Thompson's best contribution of the game. That was vital. It was necessary. Because the Vere man was just waiting. It was Alton Lewis who had come up from his defensive station, lads.
Right, it was Lewis.
I thought the last action hero was Arnold Schwarzenegger. No, it's Alton Lewis. He's been involved in everything.
Vere on the ball. Plummer. Reed, an awkward looking attempt to get the pass back to Plummer.
Yeah, he apologizes to the captain. Every time I get a close-up of Ramon Plummer, I'm tempted to say how his hair has grown in the years since we first saw him in the league, which was what, 2 seasons ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't have so much back then, but looking like a real Rastaman now.
Mullings says long kick downfield, searching for Scott. Oh, there goes the onrushing Shepherd. He has been so prominent, this teenager, in the attacking plays here for Harbourview tonight.
So quick, darting runs, giving the Vere backline trouble.
And there's the whistle from the referee there on TV. And there's Jashawn Anglin, goal scorer for Harbourview. That has them 1-0 up against Vere United. Harbourview looking for 3 points tonight and a chance to get closer to a playoff spot. A pretty competitive first half. We've seen several of the statistics favoring Vere. They haven't been bad tonight, but they're trailing 1-0 at half-time against the former champions.
Stadium, lights number 389781. Silver Teeler, lights number 389781.
One bag of gold medal pan me now. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Pan a pour them a singing anthem to. Red stripe, watch out, watch out, watch out. Man shall I better forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal win a run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now. Back down we run him all again boy. The red Stripe Premier League champion, boy, yeah, yo.
All roads lead to the final. Coppa Italia semi-finals. Juventus Milan, Wednesday, March 4th, 1945 GMT. All roads lead to the final. Coppa Italia semi-finals. Napoli-Inter, Thursday, March 5th, 1945 GMT.
Six-time champions Cruz Azul will take a crucial 2-1 lead into the second leg of their round of 16 Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League tie against Jamaica's Portmore United at the Azteca Stadium on Tuesday. The Mexicans staged a late show in Kingston to win the first leg with 2-at-a-time goals, and now the reigning Caribbean champions will have it all to do in one of the world's most feared stadia. Can Portmore pull off the improbable and land a place in the quarterfinals? Or will Cruz Azul complete the job? Watch it all play out as Flow Sports takes you live to the Mexican capital for this make or break encounter. This Tuesday starting at 11 p.m., 10 p.m. in Jamaica. Don't miss it.
1-0 the score at halftime. Jashawn Anglin, the Kingston technical teenager, having Harbourview in front here in this fixture. They were 1-1 with Vere United back in September and beat them 2-0 in December in the second round. Harbourview putting pressure on earlier on. Alves with an effort there as Lewis got hurt, but that one went high over the crossbar. Here's young Plummer sending Russell wide, and Alves from just about 12 yards skewing his effort wide. Russell showing good pace there to get to the ball. A bit of a bobble there as Alves approached it. Vere had their moments in this fixture. Effort on goal there. Blake with a left-footed strike, just tipped behind. Reed with one of 10 corner kicks for the Vere United team in the first half, putting Harbourview's defense line and their goalkeeper under pressure. Here's Akeem Mullings just forcing the ball through the middle channel.
This is the play that resulted in the goal. Alves does well, connecting very well with Mullings, and then the ball runs free. And look at that for a finish. A thumping finish, just cut across it slightly to bend it away from the goalkeeper, and bend away it did. A wicked swerving effort from Jashawn Anglin for 1-0.
Yeah, Sampson had no chance in goal there, and the 18-year-old celebrates another goal this season. His second in fact against the Vere team. Look at Shepherd, the 17-year-old, doing really well here, put under a lot of pressure, but really strong there in keeping possession of the ball. His cross though doesn't find the target. But here comes Anglin with the effort that crashes into the face of Lewis and causes a lot of pain to the Vere defender. Oh, that hit him flush in the face, didn't it? So Harbourview leading by 1-0 here, but statistically Vere are in the hunt. 5 attempts on goal, 2 on target. Harbourview had 4 attempts on goal, 2 on target. 13 fouls in the match so far, most of them by Harbourview players who have had 2 yellow cards as well. 11 corners forced by Vere United in this match so far to Harbourview's 1. Harbourview with more ball possession and the lead by 1-0 at halftime, courtesy of Jashawn Anglin's strike. Shawana Banks is on the infield with our halftime features.
Thank you so much, Lance. So, of course, we like to know more about the players that we showcase each week. Tonight, we look at Mine 90 with Mark Alves of Harbourview Football Club. We saw him on the pitch in the first half, so let's hear from him about all you may want to know. Mark Alves, Mine 90.
Mark Alves, Harbour VUFC, Red Stripe, Mine 90. Stand up for your stripe. Football means a lot to me because we have a little stress, we can go play and release the stress in a little thing. I started playing football from age 9. Yeah, age 9. I'm 25 right now.
How much years though?
Good amount of years. My mom told me that the first time I walk towards a football and pick it up. So there and then, no football was it. Do a lot. Bring people together, people who was a friend from longer. Have a fun, just have fun. Used to attend Clarendon College, persevere and excel. That is my school motto. Most likely they're home. I'm not a TV person, but like mostly on my phone, talk to friends, listen to music. My game is a little of everything. Tackle, break up pass, score goals, read the game, little of everything. Right now, I'm doing my dream job because football was it from day one, and I'm now doing football. So it was always football from day one. Mark Alves, Harbour VUFC, Red Stripe, my 90, stand up for your stripe.
Ready for the jumping. All right, let's shift our focus now to some upcoming action on Sportsmax. We have the NBA, where Portland Trail Blazers will play Indiana Pacers Thursday at 8 p.m. 9 ECT. And the LA Lakers will be playing the Golden State Warriors Thursday at 10:30 p.m. 11:30 ECT on Sportsmax. We have some football action. La Liga over there in Spain. Valencia will play Real Betis Saturday at 10 a.m. 11 ECT on Sportsmax. And we have El Clasico action on Sportsmax 2. Real Madrid playing Barcelona Sunday at 3 p.m. 4 ECT. And the UEFA Champions League is on Sportsmax 2 on Tuesday at 3 p.m. 4 ECT when Chelsea will play Bayern Munich. All right, so let's hear now from another Harbourview player, Romario Campbell. Here's his My 90.
Romario Campbell, Harbourview Football Club, attacking midfielder. My 90. It means everything to me. Football makes me happy. Football almost gives me everything I got in my life. So it means everything to me. I've been playing football from age 6. My inspiration for playing football is my bigger brother, Anthony P. He gave me the inspiration from a tender age growing up. I always used to watch him playing Manning Cup, Major League, Super League, and Premier League. In where I live, football means everything to the community. It brings joy to them, happiness, and give the community vibes. I used to attend Norman Mall High School, Knowledge for Service, one of the best high schools in Jamaica. When I'm not playing football, I'm mostly be on my phone, surfing the net, talking to my teammates, or sometimes I'm playing video games. I'm a very attacking player, like to dribble the ball, like to create passes, and I can kick free kick also. In the future, I always like to be an entrepreneur. Romario Campbell, Harbourview Football Club, attacking midfielder. Red stripe, my 90. Stand up for your stripe.
All roads lead to the final. Coppa Italia semi-finals. Juventus Milan, Wednesday, March 4th, 1945 GMT. All roads lead to the final. Coppa Italia semi-finals. Napoli Inter, Thursday, March 5th, 1945 GMT.
Six-time champions Cruz Azul will take a crucial 2-1 lead into the second leg of their round of 16 Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League tie against Jamaica's Portmore United at the Azteca Stadium on Tuesday. The Mexicans staged a late show in Kingston to win the first leg with 2 at-a-time goals, and now the reigning Caribbean champions will have it all to do in one of the world's most feared stadia. Can Portmore pull off the improbable and land a place in the quarterfinals? Or will Cruz Azul complete the job? Watch it all play out as Flow Sports takes you live to the Mexican capital for this make-or-break encounter. This Tuesday starting at 11 p.m., 10 p.m. in Jamaica. Don't miss it.
Forward boy, let's try Premier League champion boy score. Every goal winner run from boy. Let's try Premier League champion boy now. Back down we run him all again boy. Let's try Premier League champion boy. Yeah, yo.
Back on the home of champions as we welcome you to the compound for Red Stripe Monday Night Football. At halftime, Harbourview currently lead Vere United 1-0. Lance Whitaker and George Davis stand by to take you through second half action.
So Jashawn Anglin's 30th minute strike, the difference between these two teams at the moment. Vere United really struggling all season, have failed to score in 4 of their last 6 matches. They're on a 13-game winless streak. They have only 18 goals in the 25 matches, the worst defense in the league at the moment. Their defense also struggling, 38 goals conceded. Only UWI with 45 and Malines 44 have given up more goals than they have. But having said all that, Harbourview aren't really stamping their authority on this game, and Vere appear to be still in with a shot, if we should judge by what we saw in the first half, George.
10 corners for Vere United in that first half. Well, 11, beg your pardon, 11 corners for Vere United, as we saw those heels ticking across the screen just now. So they had a lot of action on the offensive end, but just that quality eluding them. There was an effort from Barrington Blake from a corner kick. He got the rebound, connected really well, but Tafari Chambers was equal to the task. But Howard Cephas, the Vere United coach, will believe that they had enough offensive thrust to at least have gotten a goal. And with that said, I don't think he can be too unhappy with the manner of the goal conceded, because it was on top of the strike.
Yeah, big strike there. There's Kenroy Lumben, the tall central defender for this Vere United team. And Kimorley Brissett, I think he was on the Tivoli Gardens roster at one point, Brissett as well. And they've had a fair amount of work to do so far in this match.
During the second half or immediately at the end of
So that man, Alton Lewis, I compared him to Deontay Wilder at times, given the number of times he was struck in the face and the head. And this was the first incident, punched in the face by Romaria Thompson. The referee missed that one, and then struck in the head by Alves's head, and then struck in the back of the head by Alves on that tackle, and then catching this one flush in the face from Jashawn Anglin. A late shot in the first half, but he's still standing, Alton Lewis. Looks as if he could run through a brick wall if necessary. Reminds me a little bit, Lance, of Jamie Lawrence, the former Leicester City player who played for Jamaica, and Bradford City, Bradford City midfielder who played for the Jamaica's Reggae Boys in the 1990s.
Yeah, a hard man he was.
They called him, and I'm sure this word is earworthy, they called Jamie Lawrence the brick shit house. For obvious reasons.
So getting ready for the kickoff for the start of the second half. And Harbourview on the live table are now up to 35 points, within 3 points of the 6th placed Arnett Gardens, on 38. At the moment, just 4 points separating 5th from 9th. So that tells you the top 6 playoff spots still up for grabs here, with 6 rounds of football in the regular season remaining after tonight. Alves back to Mullings.
So the start of the second half in the Monday night.
Anglin does well to keep possession of the ball. Shepherd losing possession there. Messam trying to trick Mullings. Did, but Johnny Talbot got in the way. Messam does well here. Keeps possession of the ball. Now Plummer. Plummer trying to turn through a cluster of players, but unsuccessful.
Yeah, wrong decision. There was a pass available. Alton Lewis was offering him from his right back station, but ignored.
I think, George, one of the problems that will face a team like Vere United is one of confidence. You play 25 games so far in the season, win only 2, and your confidence has to be an issue, or lack of confidence.
Yeah, well, I can sum it up this way. What you start believing is that you really have bad luck if you're Vere United, because you're going to say, as you said in the first half, you play well in games, but you get nothing from games. We see an early change being made. This is in the second minute of the second half, and the captain is leaving. Must be an injury. Laston Reed. And Naja Biggs comes in to replace him. But I'm saying to you that you start feeling sorry for yourself if you're Vere United.
Yeah.
Excellent ball. Offside.
Plummer.
Offside. Referee hasn't seen the flag. I tell you what, Lance, the referee's assistant had his flag up for about 30 seconds before the referee saw it. So even as the play was developing, the flag was up for offside. It was a superb pass into the path of Ramon Plummer, and now Tafari Chambers is down for Harbourview.
Yeah, so the 33-year-old Vere captain, Laston Reed, off, replaced by fresher legs. Biggs now on. There's Reed running through there. Plummer gets to that. There was an offside flag all while we were seeing here the offside flag had gone up by the referee. David just hadn't seen it.
Yeah, from the moment Plummer made contact with the ball. Heard the joke the time about the West Indies player who called for the magic spray when the magic spray just came out, and the captain sent an empty bottle and told the man administering it to just make the noise with your mouth. Psst. So he did that, and the batsman got up and flexed his leg and said, "Yeah, I'm fine, the spray works brilliantly well."
Here's how Anglin scored the go-ahead goal for them. Good work on the left side. Here comes Anglin with the effort there. He's crashing the ball that kept drifting away from the diving goalkeeper, Sampson. Second goal of the season for
Lennox Russell on a tightrope, and the referee's talking to him. He was booked in the first half, and a two-footed, studs up tackle just now, giving away the free kick.
Yeah. Both of Anglin's goals so far this season have come against Vere United. Good exchange of passes there between Lewis and his defenders. So Vere still in the game. 4 minutes into the second half, approaching 5. They had real problems scoring goals, Vere. Biggs is substitute. Lewis turns inside, shows good skill there, but eventually the ball squeezed away from him.
Lewis again.
Lewis struck in the back of the head.
Ball following him like it's metal and he's magnet. Another change being made.
Number 8, coming out. He will be replaced by player number 11, Timor Lewis.
Russell exits the field. Timor Lewis on for Lennox Russell. Timor Lewis, former Monroe College de Costa Cup star, and played previously for Sandals in the Red Stripe Premier League 3 seasons ago. Player with good skill and the inclination to take the ball to defenders.
Yeah, and involved in my moment of the RSPL so far this season, but I won't mention the name of a certain left back, Lance. For Arnett Gardens.
Scott tries to hit the ball on. And here's Brissett. I think Brissett has touched the ball in this match so far as many times as any other player has.
Yeah, I mentioned in the first half how much work he had gotten through up to that point, and he continues to work hard for Vere.
Anglin gives the ball away. Lewis under pressure, fouled by Alves. Free kick to Vere. So without their ace goal scorer Norman Campbell, who has scored 7 goals for them so far this season, Harbourview, they managed to find the net already in this match. Coming into tonight's game, Canberra had scored 3 of Harbourview's last 4 goals. There was a worry from coach Luddy Bernard even in his pre-game interview with Shawana Banks that without Campbell they were facing problems. To their credit though, they are leading without him.
Yep. And if the score holds, this is a game that Vere will leave believing that the quality of their play didn't warrant a losing result.
Absolutely, is the story of their season, is it? Shepherd deemed to have committed a foul there.
I hear that Mariah Ramarak is here. Well, she told me that, Lance. Didn't pick her up myself. We need to send our director on the case.
That would be surprising. Foul. Talbot struck there off the ball by Brown.
Yeah, and he retaliated and gets away, Jeannie Talbot.
Yeah. There's a play just struck in the neck there, and he flicked his leg out now, which is a punishable action. Brissett to Biggs. Biggs' first touch, not as good as it needed to be. Cool play there by Lumpton. Messam. Lewis doesn't beat Alves. Scott. Levy. Anglin. Still Anglin. Well read there by Lewis. Was been really robust tonight. Shepherd trying to get some room to get a shot off. Very brave young player this Shepherd. Hasn't had that much success in the game so far, but he's prominent. Here he is again.
Actually, Timor Lewis.
Oh, that's Lewis there that he had dribbled through and was tripped in a pretty threatening position. Harbourview with a free kick.
Yeah, made sure the referee knew he was fouled. A scream after being tackled by Biggs. And they're asking for Jashawn Angle in the benches to go and have a crack from distance.
Yeah. Pretty popular with these free kicks, Jashawn Anglin. Goalkeeper Sampson wants to ensure that his four-man wall is properly positioned. And that's Anglin, yes, who will have a crack at it. So he has shown an affinity. Anglin. It's Lewis though with a strike to the near post and almost squeezes by Sampson.
Yeah, good low save by the goalkeeper. Lewis aiming for the rat hole. Low. Almost knock it in.
Biggs goes wide there. Reed. First touch not as good as it needed to be. Challenge successfully for the ball. Here's a free kick once again from Lewis. Goes through the wall. And apparently was going wide as well, but too close to the post for goalkeeper Sampson to not go at it. Biggs. Plummer. Unfortunate handball.
Yeah.
Lost his balance and the ball knocked his arm.
Yeah, the reason the referee gave it is because the handball caused him to retain possession.
Yeah. Free kick to Vere. Brown wants it. Far Chambers, a model of concentration and goal for Harbourview. They need 3 points from this fixture, Harbourview. Shane Reed, leading scorer for Vere. Chambers gets right in behind it. Akeem Mullings.
Story of Alves' night. Well, it was actually Shepherd on that occasion. The pass just a little bit undercooked.
Plummer under pressure. Penalised for handled ball, and Harbourview starts to play over. Thompson looking for Scott. Scott with a header on. Shepherd gets there and does well. Alves. Mullings. Good alert challenge there from Lewis.
Does Shepherd have school in the morning? You'd think so.
Yes. Alves can't get to it in time. Vere looking urgent. Their bid to avoid relegation looks almost futile, but showing the attitude of playing to the finish. Plummer struck from behind by Thompson. Pass on by Shepherd, a little bit too straight, and Lumsden with the clearance. Brown. Messam. Free kick for Vere.
Now the set piece for them. And to say that they haven't capitalized is an understatement. Almost a dozen corners and several free kicks. Yet to breach Chambers' net. Or breach his goal.
Just a two-man wall here set up for Harbourview, just to ensure that the near post is covered. Blake And Lewis behind it. Lewis, Blake may want to crack this left-footed and go for the near post. He does! Oh, wide. Yeah, you saw his intention there, but just a bit too much curve on the ball.
Yeah, and I'm wondering about Tafari Chambers' positioning, because this is the second time that a Vere man is trying to catch him napping at his near post from a free kick. Javier Brown tried it in the first half.
Yeah.
He went really close. This one not so close, but enterprising idea from Blake.
Young player, very highly regarded by the coaching staff. Mullings' recovery there was pretty good after he appeared to be losing the ball. Biggs. Lumpton. Harbourview still retaining more ball possession here at 53%. Biggs, the substitute, goes wide. Finds Brown here. Cut off by the strong, challenging Thompson. Biggs. Scott. Shepherd. Anglin. Levy. Mullings. Takes the return play from Levy. Brutal challenge there from Lewis. Whistle.
Has really played well, Alton Lewis, even though his team is losing.
So Macaulay. Tuller warming up for Harbourview. So some fresh legs set to be injected into the front end for Harbourview. And this man, Howard Cephas, who had coached Harbourview for the first 8 or 9 games of the season before parting company with the Stars of the East, they call them. Gregor Bartley there, who was also technical director at Harbourview, has joined Cephas as assistant at Vere, so the key coaching men for Vere have been Harbourview men. Mullings through here to Scott. Scott robbed of the ball by Brissett, who gets rid of the ball.
Excellent tackle from Brissett. Brave to have made the tackle inside the box, knowing the potential for conceding a penalty. But the tackle was executed so well.
Levy with the back heel. Reed. Oh, Reed does well. Again, still Reed. Plummer. Brown. Oh, good pass to Biggs, the substitute. Biggs tries to turn. Vere still with possession. The cross, threatening. And Talbot gets there first. Now Alves with a header that gets the ball further away. Lewis loses his balance. But Vere retaining possession of the ball. Oh, Messam does well. Squeezes into the box, Messam.
Oh.
Side netting with the effort.
Wow, that was criminally bad from Messam.
Yeah, Plummer was in the box there waiting for the cross.
Inside the 6-yard box, yes, waiting for the cross to come. That would have been a tap-in. Mistake by Lewis initially, giving away possession, but then Messam won it. Did the hard part well, and didn't do the easy part so well. Well, easy for me to say.
Well, Plummer was all alone there on the 6-yard box.
Mullings goes into the book for Harbourview. Akeem.
Former Dental the Costa Cup player, Akeem Mullings. Yellow card confirmed for him. Former Jamaica under-17 player as well, Mullings. Yeah. There's the yellow card offense. Scott trying to turn. Gale putting a lot of pressure on him. Talbot with a huge high clearance up. Lewis trying to get there but doesn't. Still only 21 years old, Lewis. Pretty young Harbour View outfit this. As we said, 3 teenagers started, Anglin, Shepherd and the goalkeeper Chambers. 21-year-olds as well in there. Staple and Talbot. Mullings at 20. So this Harbour View, oh, delightful ball by Anglin. Alves miscontrols and Lewis in the process of taking the ball away from him. Wins a throw. Good work by Lewis.
Better than good, excellent. Strong. Although he's a small man, pint-sized.
Oh, does really well there, but then his delivery is a little bit off.
Almost on our commentary position. Clearly loves a battle, Alton Lewis.
Yeah.
Number 44 coming out, Scott.
So Scott being replaced by the 28-year-old Macaulay Tullow, former Kingston College and St. George's College Manning Cup standout. Spent some time playing in El Salvador. And he's back home now, the 28-year-old.
Yeah, Alves, for me, lucky to still be on the pitch. Hasn't been one of his better nights. Mark Alves, a better player than he has shown tonight for sure.
Anglin under pressure from Messam. Staple. Lewis under pressure. Protects the ball well. Tullow gets the first opportunity as he's come on. Has he won a corner?
Yes, he has.
Big, strong player, Tullow. No goals yet in the Premier League since his return. But his first may not be far off. Levy. Turns really well. Shepherd. Great challenge that was.
Leave it down for Harbour View in the Vere half.
Reed. Staple gets in the way. Referee still hasn't spotted Levy's dilemma. He has now. Midway the second half, and Harbour View continuing to lead on the just shown Anglin 30th minute strike. Yeah, it seems to be an ankle problem therefore. Levy. Oh, yeah, that was Plummer coming back there, and that may have strained some ligaments there.
In association with Violent Prevention Alliance, presents the 39 One Love Holiday football matches.
Yeah, let's see how Levy will rebound from that play. Vere with 11 corners in the match so far, Harbour View with just 2. Both, though, having 2 shots each on target. Yeah, Levy is going to struggle. That challenge from Plummer really rolled his ankle. And there will be some strained ligaments there, I think.
I tell you what, the fact that he's warm right now will probably mean that he can see out the game, but it's later when his body cools down and that thing swells up. Yep.
Yeah. I think there will be a huge temptation to take him out of the game now, though, because Harbour View are leading, and they would want to ensure that they don't end up sharing points here, because a victory for Harbour View critical tonight in their bid for a playoff spot. Vere on the advance. Good cross. Just a little bit off target. Messam industrious there. Brown getting there, but hurting himself as he went for the ball.
Brave by Brown, but determined to win something. Knew that he could either win a free kick or a corner from a ricochet. Got the free kick. Levy's back.
Yeah. Let's watch him closely. He looks to be running okay. So as you said, he's warm, his blood is hot, so the pain won't be hitting him as much now as it will when it cools down. Vere making a change there. Sheldon Smith getting into the game now. And Smith is about to replace Vere's leading goal scorer Zane Reid. That may happen after this free kick is taken, or will it happen before? I think the kick will be taken first. Brown with the kick. Poor. Wow. Well, just looping, and goalkeeper Chambers had the easy take.
Catching practice for the goalkeeper.
Yeah. Initially, I thought it was going to go all the way behind. It just hung in the air for a while. Plummer. Blake. Brissett. Wow. Appears as if Reid wasn't able to keep that in.
No.
And now the change is going to be made. So Reid exits the game. Yeah, and Smith now comes in. Sheldon Smith.
Zane Reid, player number 15, replaces Sheldon Smith.
Easy take for Sampson in the Vere goal. Under 18 minutes now remaining. Harbourview holding on to the 1-0 advantage. Their goal scoring record in this Premier League Harbourview coming into this game just below a goal a match. So at the moment they're right on par with their scoring rate. One goal though may be enough for 3 points. Good exchange of passes. Oh, Tuller just appears to misjudge the pace of the ball and runs away from it. Or doesn't go aggressively enough to it. Critical period in the game this. Harbourview will know that a 1-0 advantage is a tenuous advantage.
Still a lot of time for Vere to take something from the game. Harbourview, I think, need a second goal.
Yeah. Plummer.
Wild from Talbot.
Yeah.
And the Vere players remonstrating with the referee and his assistant, asking what kind of challenge is that? Well, it was a bad challenge, very bad challenge, and he gets a yellow card.
He went for ball, but got everything, including man. And he collects a yellow card for his challenge. Johnny Talbot has been good enough to earn a national call-up in the past year. 15 minutes to go. Vere pressing for the equalizer. Biggs with a free kick. Several blue shirts in the box to aim at. Handball. Wow. Yeah. And Jay Gale just lost the trajectory of the ball there and didn't get his boot to it, his hand instead.
Harbourview wanting to slow the game down now. The centre halves walking away, leaving that ball for the goalkeeper to take some time over this free kick. So they're running some clock, the home team.
Tolito. Lewis. Both Lewises. Alton for Vere and Timor for Harbourview. No, innocuous ball across there. Staple though. Smith, the substitute, won it but then lost it. Blake. Lewis. Goes down the middle channel, but Talbot gets in the way. Biggs. Lewis. Mullings with a successful challenge. Biggs has looked pretty purposeful since coming on for Vere. Looks a bit of an impact player, Biggs. Here he is. Brissett. Smith, the super sub. Forced to go back where he doesn't want to go because Alves is putting a lot of pressure on him. Gets rid of Alves. Oh, his effort though is high.
Felt he was entitled to a shot there, Brissett, after the good work that he did, holding off Alves, protecting the ball, and working the opportunity from distance. And decided to have a pop. We hear that Romario Campbell is being readied by Harbourview. Yeah, there he is in the shot below you, beneath, bottom of your screen, the veteran.
Yeah. Lumpton goes wide to Brissett. Staple. Wow. Staple shows skill on the ball. Anglin does really well there. He's been an impact player tonight for Harbourview with a goal and strong presence in midfield.
Yep.
There's Rum Campbell.
Is it Levy who's going to come? Oh, well, Shepherd, they say.
Yeah, Jamon Shepherd, the 17-year-old St. George's College student, exits the game, and the 30-year-old Romario Campbell to take his place. Yep, this youngster has been busy tonight. He has worked really, really hard, had some fairly good moments.
Yellans has shown quality, Jamon Shepherd, and should be one to watch the next schoolboy football season, which will be played out on the screens of Sportsmax.
Romario Campbell now on. Pretty well travelled. Left Harbourview several years ago to spend some time at Waterhouse, then Humberland, then Mount Pleasant, and now he is back to where it all started. Levy, Anglin, Campbell, Mullins.
An excellent change to be able to make now for Harbourview since they want to control the game.
Mullings, Macaulay, Tullow in the box waiting for it. Ball. Pretty confident on the ball there, Biggs. Now he's giving it away. Levy goes wide. Staple. His one-time pass inside, looks to fight back for the ball. Smith can't keep it in. Just over 10 minutes of normal time remaining.
Another change being made. Third and final change by Mount Pleasant. Number 26. But very beg your pardon, the colors fooled me. Yeah, so Nerardo Brown, number 26, coming in. And Messam is out, number 9.
Yeah, so Brown in for Messam. The game. They've complained that they've been beaten by many late goals this season. They've given up so many goals, 90 minutes plus. Tonight though, it's a 30th minute strike from Anglin that has them staring defeat in the face. Brown Robbed of the ball by the speedy Lewis. Anglin. Lewis gets to it. His cross doesn't have enough on it. Mullings, good pass here to Anglin, who is all over the field.
Yeah, candidate for man of the match for sure.
Yeah, his touches of the ball have been sublime, and his 30th minute strike right now is the difference between these two teams. Campbell, Mullings, Campbell. Yeah, the presence of Campbell on the field here for Harbourview as a super sub, looking to shore up the game with his passing ability. Plummer. Pulled back by Thompson, who suggests that he didn't do anything.
Yeah, but they keep saying that Tom's not to be on the pitch. I didn't do much wrong there though, Thompson, to be fair.
Tug Plummer though as he tried to get by him. Lewis with a free kick for Vere. Pretty much the entire Harbourview team back in the 18-yard box defending. Can't afford to give up a late goal here. Lewis's free kick crashes straight into the wall.
Wall doing its job.
Big high clearance upfield. Whistle again. Referee awarding another free kick to Vere. So Vere keeping Harbourview completely honest. They have trailed since the 30th minute, this Vere team. There's not been a point in this game where Harbourview have looked comfortable.
Oh.
Poor kick by Brown.
He's not had a good second half, Javier Brown. Was quite good in the first half. Bright.
Campbell trying to split the defense, looking for Macaulay Tuller there. But Brissett, who has been stout in midfield for Vere tonight, got in the way.
Yeah, tried to go with the outside of the left boot to bend it into the path of Tuller. Almost came off, but good intervention from the Vere defense.
Cross. A little short. Lumsden with the attempted clearance. Doesn't get any distance on the clearance, so the Vere team still picked back into their defense area. Tullow. Mullings. Wow. Plummer sprinting forward with the ball played behind him.
Yeah, wrong-footed by the errant pass.
Wow, Plummer shows really good skill there. Eventually muscled off the ball, and now Levy has it. Throw to Vere, this deep inside their own half. Another throw, this time higher up in the half.
If this result holds, Howard Cephas will be one frustrated man. And then Lance, when he watches the film and he sees what Thompson did to Staple in the first half, he would just say, well, this proves that luck isn't against us. There he is shaking his head, a rueful smile from Howard Cephas, the Vere United coach, who previously coached Harbourview.
Yeah. Just about 4 minutes now of normal time remaining. The Harbourview defense has been forced tonight to be alert. Yeah, Lewis has finally gotten hurt to the point that he looks fallen. Shot from distance from Brown, high over the top. I think Lewis went down there to a possible muscle injury because I don't think there was contact on him.
He was kicked by, clipped by, yes, he was clipped by Romario Campbell. And he felt the referee saw it, which is why he abandoned the run. This is it, this is the play, look at this. And you'll see, raking down the Achilles.
Yeah, that's
clever
right.
from Campbell. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah.
And Lewis felt that, which is why he's still down. And he's telling the referee he was fouled. And the referee says, well, I didn't see that.
Yeah. Would have had some studs there in the back of the leg. As time ticks away here, as Harbourview move closer to collecting 3 points, and they will in fact be, if the score holds, will definitely get closer to a playoff spot. Player down. We have an injury to Brissett, who has been a stalwart in defence for Vere tonight. So as time ticks away, Vere facing their 13th defeat of the season. And as they move inevitably toward relegation from the top flight.
39th stadium of the Bob Marley Wando Sunday Football matches. Come on,
this Vere team would be very, very disappointed with another unsuccessful outing here. Last month they were beaten by a stoppage time goal by the leaders Waterhouse by 1-0, and the coaching staff there distraught. That has been the story of their season. They have played competitively for long periods this season, but without success. Waterhouse, the tournament leaders, beat them on a 93rd minute goal mid-January.
And that's what I mean by when that happens to you game after game, you start believing luck isn't on your side.
Yeah.
And it isn't the outlook to take into a football match, believing that you're preordained to lose no matter how well you play. That seems to be Vere's lot right now.
Yeah. Haven't won a game Vere since the 24th of November when they defeated the Lions by 3-0. That only their second win of the season. Started off the season, by the way, defeating the defending champions Portmore by 2-0 on the 8th of September.
Yeah, starting hot, fizzling out thereafter.
Lewis for Harbourview. Campbell Good pass. Lewis knocked over from behind. And Jay Gale with the challenge. 4 minutes added on for stoppages. Free kick to Harbourview. About 24 yards out. Gale, who scored one of those goals on the 8th of September to beat Portmore by 2-0. The man with the infringement. Campbell just cheekily trying to kill time close to the corner flag.
They're trying to get Campbell to restart the game quickly. He'll never do that. Taking his own sweet time.
Tullow to Campbell. Campbell goes to the corner flag. Gives up a throw. Almost wins the ball back. Campbell. Plummer who has gone deep. Blake gives the ball away. Stolen by Alves, who's fouled by Brissett. Free kick to Harbourview, so problems for Vere in stoppage time.
Had to grab him, Brissett did. Alves was hearing in on goal. He's bursting into the penalty box. Didn't have any protection, Brissett. He knew that. Had to foul.
Yeah, Alves getting away there as he stole the ball on the interception. Campbell preparing for the free kick for Harbourview. Goes wide to Tullow. Confirmation of Brissett's yellow card there. 2 minutes of time added on remaining. Goal kick for Vere.
Still time for an equalizer.
Lewis, who has been robust tonight for Vere. Ball given away again. Campbell. Lewis. Lewis under a lot of pressure there from Anjay Gale. Plummer heads on. Ball right across. Tullow! First goal of the season for the 28-year-old. Curtains for Vere. 2-0. Harbourview in front.
And how sloppy was that? A throw-in for Vere United deep in their own half resulted in a turnover which allowed Tullow to be played in. This is the throw from Anjay Gale. And then that poor touch from Sheldon Smith. One touch by Tullow and bang with the left foot. A precision finish from the big man. Again, just cutting across the ball a little to bend it away from the goalkeeper, Romain Sampson. That's what he did, just like Anglin caught his strike, rising all the time. No chance of saving that.
And there's the final whistle from referee Darren Davey. Tullow's strike, final strike of the night. And Vere's night ends again in disappointment. They collapse toward relegation, and there's just Sean Anglin, our man of the match, with his strike, and a solid game in midfield for Harbourview. They win it by 2-0.
Yeah, the deserved victory for Harbourview in the end, it must be said. There were several incidents in the game, but you can't deny that over the course of the 90 minutes on the balance of play, the correct team has won. Vere severely lacking quality up front, but they were bright. They were dangerous on occasion. They had the opportunities from set pieces, but just not the quality, the tactical, the nous to really open up this Harbourview team, and they leave 2-0 losers.
Yes, so Harbourview winning handsomely. handsomely here with strikes from Macaulay Tullow and Jashawn Anglin, moving up now to 35 points, just 3 points off a playoff spot. And right now we have just 4 points separating 5th from 9th. That playoff battle in the remaining 6 rounds will be very, very intense. With Harbourview here getting the victory by 2 goals to 0 over Vere.
Mr. One bag of gold medal pan me now. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Pan a pour them a singing anthem to. Red stripe, watch out, watch out, watch out. Man, shall I be the forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal when I run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now. Back down we run him all again boy. The Red stripe Premier League champion boy, yeah yo.
So the 2-0 scoreline for the Harbourview team, first time in 9 matches that they've scored more than 1 goal per game, and they needed it tonight. They're now within 3 points of a playoff spot as they battled to get into the playoffs for the 3rd time in the past 7 seasons. They started out with a lot of aggression and attacking intent. There was the ball crashed over the top there by Mark Alves. And Harbourview trying to keep the pressure on. Russell will get onto this one. His cross inside. And Alves skewing his effort wide.
Yeah, Alton Lewis flying into the tackle. Alves saw him coming and just snatched at it a little, although to be fair to him, the bad bounce caught him and that ball hit his shin rather than the instep. This was an effort on target from Barrington Blake, just leaning back, everything wrong with the technique, but he caught it really well. And then from this play, Lastonweed intercepts that pass, but look at Alves, how dogged he is, keeping possession, knocking it to Mullings. Mullings will play to Shepherd. Shepherd takes a touch, not clean, just knocked away from him by Lewis, but look at Jashawn Anglin running on, and a real sweet strike. He'll feel that one in his foot even tonight when he goes home and gets to bed. Bending away all the time, no chance for Samson. 1-0. Then young Shepherd runs into the box, and watch him, the big man against the little man. Little man, low center of gravity, still going, works his way to the byline, cuts back the cross, too high for Alves, but Jashawn Anglin takes a touch, takes another touch, bang! Into the face of Alton Lewis, brave from the Vere defender, but everything on the line to keep the deficit down. And then this free kick, going low, was Mark Alves. Well, Tamara Lewis it was. And then this throw, that Vere wins this throw. Look at this. Ajay Gale flings it forward, not a good throw, not a good touch from Ramon Plummer, an even worse touch to send it back by Biggs. And Macaulay Tullow takes one touch to control and steady himself, and another to blast it beyond the goalkeeper Sampson for 2-0. Excellent touch, excellent finish from the Harbourview big man.
Yeah, repeating the 2-0 victory they had over the Vere team back in December, and only the 2nd time in 9 matches that they've scored more than 1 goal per match. 7 attempts on goal by Vere, 2 on target. 5 attempts on goal by Harbourview, 3 on target. 11 corners forced here by Vere to Harbourview 3. Harbourview having marginally more ball possession at 51%, but it's the stats at the top that are important. Harbourview 2-0 over Vere. Jashawn Anglin, the first goal scorer for Harbourview, is with Shawana Banks as the man of the match.
Thank you, Lance. Congratulations, you have been named our MVP this evening. How do you feel about your performance for Harbourview?
Well, I feel good about it. Coach tell us that we have to get the 3 points, and I did it.
And do you think Harbourview will proceed to the top 6?
Yes, quite fine.
Congratulations, thank you.
Welcome.
All right. Our MVP tonight, Jashawn Anglin. Joining me now is Howard Cephas, head coach at Vere Technical. Another loss, you're heading further and further in the relegation.
We're just competing to the end. That's our motto. We've competed to the end. A boxing, you know what can happen. Still have 6 game leave. Still can't. Like I just said, I'm a very determined person. Never give up till you say die. All right, but the team performed. I said the first half We had them corner down in the box. 10 corners consistently. But I just say we can't score, so that's what we're going to work on there next. All right, but all of you play and win, that's it. But them really outplay when away for well. The second goal, the ball will give away stupidly where at the midfield, so the team more constructive with the ball. So that's
Thank you, Coach. All the best.
Thanks.
Howard Cephas there of Vere Technical. Vere United saying they need to they need to work on their finishing. Joining me now is Ludlow Bernard, head coach at Harbour. Ludlow, with a man who just gained 3 points, he don't look very happy. Talk to me about the game tonight.
That's been our worst game since I took over. But sometimes we have some of these days, you know, but I was always confident that we would get the win. But I told him today that I wanted a convincing victory. We didn't get it, but 3 points is important. But I think I have some good platform on which to work going into the next game.
Thank you, Ludlow.
Thanks for your time.
Ludlow Bernard, their head coach at Harbourview. He's not very happy with his team's performance. He thought they would have been more convincing, but of course 3 points is worthy, and they got it here tonight. Next week we will be at Stadium East when Cavalier Football Club welcome Arnett Gardens. We're live with the pre-game show at 7:30, 8:30 ECT on Sportsmax 2. Of course, kickoff is at 8 p.m., 9 ECT. So on behalf of Lance and George and the entire production team, thank you so much for hanging out with us on another Red Stripe Football Monday. Harbourview 2-0 winners over Vere United Football Club here this evening. My name is Shawana Ebanks, and we'll see you next week.
Red Stripe, Premier League. I miss one bag of gold medal pan me now. Red Stripe alone champion boy go. Banner pour them a singing anthem. Red Stripe, watcha. Band shall I be the forward boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal when I run from boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy now. Back down we run the marathon boy. The wish I never made it that the champion boy fan. Now man I done a songsters boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy.
All roads lead to the final. Coppa Italia semi-finals. Juventus Milan, Wednesday, March 4th, 1945 GMT. All roads lead to the final. Coppa Italia semi-finals. Napoli-Inter, Thursday, March 5th, 1945 GMT.
Six-time champions Cruz Azul will take a crucial 2-1 lead into the second leg of their round of 16 Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League tie against Jamaica's Portmore United at the Azteca Stadium on Tuesday. The Mexicans staged a late show in Kingston to win the first leg with 2 added-time goals, and now the reigning Caribbean champions will have it all to do in one of the world's most feared stadia. Can Portmore pull off the improbable and land a place in the quarterfinals? Or will Cruz Azul complete the job? Watch it all play out as Flow Sports takes you live to the Mexican capital for this make-or-break encounter. This Tuesday's